The educational system finds its economic solvency because it employs professionals who are willing to accept a salary 18% lower than their counterparts in other professions. Most, 75% of public school teachers in the US are women. Why are they willing to accept such low pay? The average age of women in teaching is 42. Most are married and have school-aged children. I propose that school districts take advantage of these statistics when considering their salary structures. While one might argue that it's a trade-off, more vacation days and schedules that coincide with childcare for a lower salary, the problem is a question of equity in pay for women and the ability to attract both women and men to the field. Is there sufficient motivation for a man interested in pursuing a career in education at 18% less pay than in another field? If our society is arranged so that men continue to, quote unquote, provide for the family, including a sufficient salary with good health insurance coverage, and they are choosing other options for professions, either there will have to be a more substantial work-life draw to entice men, or the salaries for all teachers, men and women, will have to increase. I initially decided to pursue the field of education influenced by both of my parents who were public school educators, my father for 43 years and my mother for just 5. Ultimately, I chose education because I wanted to refine my practice of guiding children through their social, emotional, and academic development. Once I started my own family, I appreciated the shared calendar, but I did not choose my career in education because of the convenient time off during the summer or other school breaks to be with my children. While I acknowledge the privilege I gained from the educator's work schedule, it was not my main draw to the work. I choose to work professionally with children, students that I have the honor of making sure that they are safe during the school day and are provided with a meaningful and personalized learning environment, guiding them to develop into their best community-minded, self-aware, and academic achieving selves. And like the vast majority of educators in the US, I also happen to be a woman. I believe that I've been taken advantage of by a system that assumes as a woman, I will have a spouse with a much more substantial salary, including good benefits, and that therefore my low-scale educator's salary will be sufficient, supplemented by my spouse's income to sustain us both, plus children. I think that most teachers who are also women have succumbed to accept the lower pay because they are swayed to believe that they only deserve a limited salary since they have access to the quote unquote benefit of convenient schedules, allowing them to provide their own children for their families. In addition, I think that more men choose work outside of education, not because they are not interested in teaching and guiding young people, but because they feel they do not have the option to choose the lower pay, given that they may be future heads of households and will need to provide enough for a family. I wonder if the field of education had a balance of both men and women, if the pay would increase. This speaks to the value society puts on work performed by women. When reports tell of crises in education, especially related to funding, most don't even begin to address the long-established low-pay salary structures. Most of the education workforce, women, are finding themselves prioritizing their choices. I know that I am. I know that like other professionals, I deserve a sustainable salary to compensate the high quality work I perform. I think focusing on allocating financial resources to comparable pay for professional education work will be the next critical component in moving our educational system forward for the next several decades. I believe their current pay structure will not be sustainable for much longer.